ladies and gentlemen, dear members of the jury, honorable publics, beautiful publics. The name is students at Virtual University of Senegal in Buenos Aires. So I'm very glad to be here today to represent my school, which is my favorite one, which is UVS. So today our theme is, in Africa, he exploits his resources without the natural, without foreign expertise. And then, just at first sight, let me tell you the meaning of what is an expertise. I can say expertise is an exam, an evaluation, or a situation which is led by an expert, and it is also, which is this one is full of skills. And at first I would say I would come at first sight with the theme of level. You know, the interdependency of Africa and Europe was a long time since. Yes, I can say at first sight, Europe got the skills that we Africa do not get. And that question with the theme come back. If Africa can use or exploit his resources without the plain one, I can say no.
I can say no. Africa can't exploit his resources without the foreign expertise. Because we do not get the means or the ways that they got so as to exploit their resources. And we need the foreign expertise. At first sight, can you tell me about something that we realize without the foreign expertise? With the size or we can say also we don't realize anything in our outside that is not without the help of foreign expertise. So I can say we need help. We need the help inside. So that's why at the first time we go out there, the training and being there so as to get the skills, so as to use our resources. And let me tell you about the resources that we got, which is oil, oxygen, uranium, and bauxite also. So I can say that's the things that we need so as to use and exploit our resources. And then, let me tell you something. We got a level of skills, which is little bits. So as different get the different. And we do not get to accept that this difference has always been the users. We got also to produce as them, as they are doing, as the skills that they got also. I mean, like to try to get the level of skills that the foreign expertise get. So as why not touching them, being through them, so as doing doing the training that we need so as to follow and use our resources as we should do. And then, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. So, Mr. Chef, I will call you this on stage so as to follow you. Thank you.
Hello, dear charming couple. Hello, dear members of the jury. Hello, dear listeners. I think we are really fine. Really happy. And I myself, I'm an African, and I'm really delighted to be here in Africa. But we have to be realistic, guys. So, when we say Africa can exploit its resources without the foreign expertise, what I have to say is, it's an obvious question. We do really know that Africa can exploit their resources without the foreign expertise, guys. Or if you say we can't do it, I think you are going to show us the solution. Because all the guys here, they need it, even I am myself. Brothers and sisters, I will come first to the uranium. Do you know the uranium? The first country that produce what we call uranium. Do you know it? It's Nigeria. It's Nigeria that produce the uranium. The first country that produce the uranium here in Africa. And what is not understandable is 90% of their territories, they do not get electricity. And they are producing uranium. You know how uranium is important? How it can help Nigeria to be the biggest country ever? But unfortunately, they suffer. They are not even part of the 10 richest countries in Africa. We already know that, guys. If for those people, the population, if they were well funded to exploit the uranium resources, now I think Nigerians, they wouldn't be here. Now they in the hard situations. They can't solve their problems. Do you know why? Because we did not have what we call human capacities. Africa, well, we got resources, right? We got human resources, right? But the problem is the capacities, the mentalities, the intelligence. Do Africa have it? I think no. When we talk about expertise, we're not talking about you white and black, no. We're not talking about begging, no. We're talking about changing knowledge, which is very important and fundamental. And then brothers, we far away from 1999 centuries, which is the 21st century, guys. Which means that there is a globalization, interdependent between countries. Don't you think that the Western they don't need our expertise? They do. But you, what are you learning? The scientific subject. Where this subject come from? With the foreign expertise? Then guys, how many subjects are you learning all the time? Where those subjects come from? Who teach you that those people who teach you that those subjects, where they take the knowledge? Down Western, and then they change it with you, share it with you. Guys, if you would like to see that, the foreign expertise is very important and useful. Guys, you have to go to Jamaica. There you will know how important and excellent is the foreign expertise. Guys, we have to learn. We have to go, learn, check knowledge, guys. It's important. Guys, time is up now, guys, to be used. We've been using for a long time. Until now, we are still in the same path. We don't even, guys, reach the hard and tough living conditions that we live in. Guys, when I hear brothers like you being here, I know you're very important. I know you're very motivated. But what you are going to defend, I know it's impossible. If you are ready to show it, all the people that are here, they are very eager, even the member of the jury, to see you show us the solution. By the way, I can profit. And my team, they will profit. All the people, they will profit. Because they're going to be great to see you show us the solution that we've been looking for a long time. Thank you very much.
Hello, members of the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you. I am Romeo Kuti, an student at Faculty of Science and Technology. Welcome to this presentation, ladies and gentlemen. Today's debate is about if Africa can exploit its natural resources without foreign expertise. Ladies and gentlemen, please, look at me. Look at my glove. It's nice, yes or yes? This glove, it is made with cotton. In Africa, we produce cotton since many years ago. Now tell me, did our farmer, did our grandparents need foreign expertise before producing the cotton? No, they didn't. That's why, guys, you're wrong. I'm sorry. They didn't. And what we have to say now that we need foreign expertise, we don't. Let me give this example. When our parents, when our farmers used to produce the cotton, foreign expertise come to them and told them, you could buy this chemical fertilizer. It will improve your yields. And they bought it. After the campaign was happened, the ground was destroyed. And every year, they need to go to the expertise, foreign expertise, to buy the fertilizer again. This is not possible. Guys, for me, the African problem is not a problem for foreign expertise. It's management problem. African problem is management problem. All of us, we are experts. You are experts at your field. I'm expert in my field. You too are experts in your field. Why do you want us to go to foreign to ask expertise again? No, guys. Another reason could be, according to the reports of African Development Bank and the Global Financial Integrity, they estimated that Africa used to lose a year more than $38.4 billion US through mispricing. In another way, they lost also more than $25 billion US through the illicit flows. This is more than what Africa used to receive through the development aid and therapy investments. It's impossible, guys. It's time for you and I to open our eyes. It's time for us to get up, to stand up, to get up our continent, to get up Africa by working. Our African people are proud of what is made in Africa. I'm African people, and I'm proud for being African. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Because in the field is like adding food to the fire. Well, when we talk about Africa, first, my name is Daniel, and I'm part of the science faculty team. When we talk about Africa, people all around the world guide at its natural resources. In Africa, countries that are rich in natural resources, they are the more poor, they are also unstable. And among them, we have Niger, as you said it. We have Mali, we have Libya, we have Democratic Republic of Congo, and so many other countries. Well, according to the United Nations, only in Mali, in Burkina Faso, and in Niger, over 500,000 people have displaced because of instability. So how can you think about developing or exploiting your own natural resources when your people sleep with an eye open? So to prove that Africa is very able to exploit its natural resources without foreign expertise. So let me give you the example of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, South Africa, they took great responsibilities. They teach their students, they prepare them to exploit mining because their lands are rich in mining resources. What do? They teach those students, and after they teach them, they spread knowledge. Now, South Africa exploit very well. Gold, they exploit what we call diamond and also gold. And guess what? Only with gold, they produce what we call gold power. And with gold power, they need over 70% of all South African electricity demand. So South Africa is a little bit far. Let us come back here. Go to the port of Dakar. You will see a company named Sopacen, Société de Pêche et d'Armement Sénégal. They are very well prepared. They are very well equipped, and they exploit fish. Every year, they exploit around 15,000 tons of fish. If you don't believe me, you can go over there. So, saying that Africa is not ready to exploit or is able without foreign expertise is so bad. I'm thinking about whether or not you are Senegalese. Another point, South Sudan, where despite the fact that those countries are unstable, they succeed in producing carbon. That's the same situation with Burkina Faso and so on. So the very simple fact of the matter is, those countries, they are controlled. They don't have peace. Before doing anything, we need peace. They don't have peace. So they have to have peace. And you know the problems, what is the key problem in Africa? It is all about priorities. It is all about responsibilities. It is all about getting out of dependence, because we lose the dependence on the others. We have to get rid of that. And it is very simple, guys and gentlemen. Guys, Africa is waking up, and change is coming, whether you like it or not. Thank you.
No matter what, we will ever be African. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, dear audience, it is a great honor that I'm here today to talk to you about this outstanding topic. Africa cannot exploit its natural resources without foreign expertise. Honorable members of the jury, our brother told me to us a minute ago, with oil, gas, uranium, so on and so forth. Africa is home to some of the largest disposal of natural resources in the world. However, ladies and gentlemen, Mama Africa is far from being able to exploit these natural resources without foreign expertise. This is the problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, honorable members of the jury, let us prevent ourselves from this inflection. Let us just focus on facts and palpable things. When in palpable things, you were talking about machines. Well, brothers and sisters, first of all, whenever we exploit something, whenever, for example, our clothes are beautiful, maybe not so now. So, with the machines that we use in order to exploit or in order to prepare our clothes are made in Europe, made in China, made in America. So then, if ever we stop using those machines, we will never when it started using them. We all know that the activities of the exploitation of natural resources require specialized techniques. This is why the multinational companies always rush in Africa in order to exploit the natural resources in our place. You were talking about expertise, ladies and gentlemen. We should know sometimes when you are exploiting something, you need some skills, some procedures, some methods. Those skills and methods are elaborated by Western people. For example, we have the great speakers, oil, and gas. You are the members of the jury, the experts, or the agents. The members of the audience, you are the employees. But whenever you are exploiting the oils, you are using some techniques. Those techniques are not elaborated by you, but those techniques are elaborated by Western people. This is the thing. We don't want to speculate. We just want to talk about facts. You were talking about losing billions of dollars. If ever the European was not here, you will never ever be able to exploit the world. This is the thing. The problem is not that European experts. The problem is the fact that we want to be, in what color? We are in a world. We are citizens of the world. We are not here to protect or to defend Europeans, but we want to talk about palpable things. We want to talk about concrete things. Whatever we do, or whatever is made in Africa, we use some machines. Those machines are the result of someone else's expertise. So let me go out of the topic and cover. Whenever you put your dalungai, right? Dalungai is made in Africa, right? And probably not in Senegal. But whenever the one that is making dalungai do not have the machine, it will never ever be able to have the dalungai. This is the problem. So then, that we are citizens of the world. America sometimes needs the Chinese expertise. China needs American expertise. Europeans sometimes needs the Chinese expertise. This is how things are going. We need something from the elder one, and the elder one always needs something from us. This is
Thank you. Merci.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohamed Badji. I science faculty. So, it's not a sin to say that I'm an African, even if we talk about African. I'm African or not. I'm proud of being African. Yeah. And I will be saying those words wherever I go, even if we talk about Africa. So, there is a problem. Because I think that you need historical background. Because they say those subjects, what subjects are you talking about? Was they created in Africa? So I think it's just like a course in self-belief. Because you don't believe in yourself. And I'm going to explain myself. I'm going to say why. You know, white people used to tell us that we are not civilized. African people are not civilized. Guys, that's actually your question. What is the first world civilization? Isn't it Egypt? Yes. And in Egypt, again, let's go in Egypt. Those subjects, let's talk about mathematics. Mathematics was developed for the first time in Egypt. Yes. When Imhotep was building the pyramids, he was using some theorems. Thales and Pythagoras come from the other side, Greek. They come in Egypt, they use the pyramid formulas. They say theorem of Pythagoras, theorem of Thales. They did not create the pyramids, and this is from where they based on to create the formulas. And I'm in university, I'm still using Thales and Pythagoras by knowing that they did not create it. It was created by Imhotep, the one who created the pyramids. And they make you believe that they create those formulas. They develop mathematics. I'm going to explain you something else. You know the calendar, the grace calendar, we have 12 months and 365 days. It was created in Africa. Go and check it, the calendar. And they was using the numbers, they was using astronomy, astrology to ask themselves questions. And Santa Job fights words to make us believe that philosophy was born here. Philosophy was born in Africa because when the Egyptians was using the calendar, they was using astronomy and astrology, they was asking themselves questions on how the things work on the universe, how the stars work in the Milky Way. The fact of asking themselves those questions, trying to find out answers, they was philosophizing. And where people come to tell us that philosophy was created in Greece. And we believe in that, because that's what they taught us. When they was building those pyramids in Egypt at the time, they was very close. There was no America, there was no France, there was no China. Those communities didn't even exist at the time. Our ancestors believe on themselves. They believe on what they have, and they made it. The pyramid till now, if you go to Egypt, you will find them there. So guys, let's believe in ourselves. I think this course should be more about believing in ourselves. And you don't believe in yourself. Those subjects I'm talking about started here, years before others came. It was 300 years before Christ. And the other thing is about, I'm going to ask you a question. Why Africa is so rich and Africans are so poor? It's a good question. Ask yourself this question. You know what expertise is lied on manipulating, spoiling us, sometimes even lying. That's where the expertise is. After 300 years of slavery and how many years of colonization, they are here in Africa. They never showed their expertise to us. And we're still waiting for them to come and develop us. And coronavirus is over. Without coronavirus over that, we should be prepared in ourselves. That's what coronavirus is so. Because if the borders are closed,
If I'm not right again, the topic is not about philosophy, mathematics, nothing else. The topic is about, can we Africans exploit our natural resources without our own expertise? Yes. You are talking about poverty. You are scientists, right? You are scientists. If we do not use the foreign expertise in order to exploit our territory, we will never be English. This is how things work. We always say we do not need the Western people. We just need to believe in ourselves. You are not more African than these people are. We are born here, and we are supposed to die here. The topic is not there. We are not going to follow it over there. The topic is about how can we or can Africa exploit its natural resources without the foreign expertise. We have, for example, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. It is one of the greatest companies in Africa. But they always, collaborate with Total, BP, Cosmos Energy in order to exploit the natural resources. This is how things are working, right? Okay? So now, apart from that, the believing, the topic is not again about if you are African or not. It's about if Africa, you Africa, Africa, as I say, if you are able to exploit the natural resources without a foreign expertise, not Mama Africa is going to answer. Because we all know the things that are happening here. Whenever we need something, we're going to say, oh, Papa Europe, come on now. He's not a human being. They say foreign people, they come to use us. No, guys, we're talking about knowledge. Expertise is knowledge that you get through the specific subject, I can say. But if you hear saying that, white person, they come here, they use us, why? Do you know why the Western they use us? Because we let them use us. Their mind, why they were working, learning, doing all their best to be at the top. We've been here, dancing, singing, watching. You can't be more confident than us. We Africans, we here defending our own continent. We know more than you do. Then, where hear you, be here, you say everything. Seems that we Western, we far away from. If you were, why not you go there then? Brothers, you've been here learning, but all the time your dream is to go to Europe and learn. Why do you go there for? My question is that, why you all your dream is to go to Europe and learn? What are you going to do then? You are going to learn. What are you going to learn? It's knowledge. That knowledge, if you believe here, is not the foreign expertise. It is, brother. Jonya, we all know Jonya. You know Jonya? Yes. He was here. He's a Senegalese people. He's doing great things, wonderful things in Africa. And we all appreciate that, even I myself. And then he was in America. And now they teach him how to use our land, and now he's doing great things. Do you have iPhone? Give me your iPhone, please. Do you know the screen? The screen. Do you know the natural resources of the screen is silver. Where it come from? Senegal. And do you know? Here behind the iPhone they say assembly down, China, designer down. California in America, which means that all of them, they work together in order to make this thing.
Guys, what is that? Casamance is right? Yes. Water is a natural resource. Today, water, all the world, the next word, the world war, will be about water. But that one, believing in himself, he created that for all of us. He's using water everywhere in Africa. He used his expertise for that. Because they said it. You said something. You said those subjects were not created in Africa. You said it. It's not us. We answered your question. Because those one was debated on something else, on the topic. But you answered the question, I answered to your question. And what they say is, those subjects were not created here in Africa. I was making them know that it was created here, the mathematics, the things that we use today to point ourselves. I'm talking about our grandparents. When they was creating those things, there was no America, no Africa. They were exploiting their resources. They were cultivating their lands. They were eating. They have everything they need because they believe in themselves. And self-belief is really important in that. And I say, it's a question about mindset. Because before saying that you're able to do this or that, it's a question about mindset. The ESP student in 2018, the ESP student created a car called Gaza. But those ones are not helped. Yeah. Because that one, if the car and the other thing is about, he said about Total, BP, etc. Total and BP are here. You heard about Frank Timis, right? Frank Timis is trying to work with, you heard about it. I'm not here for talking about it, but you heard about the scandal between Al-Usal and Frank Timis. they can do to manipulate. They don't have to show us expertise. If we need expertise, we have to develop it by ourselves because our grandparents did it and we can do it too. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Well, you know, their statements are not only vague, they are subjective. First, they say knowledge is expertise. First, you have to know the difference between what is knowledge and what is expertise. Knowledge is theoretical, and expertise is how the different knowledge you will use to build, to make something. That's something different. Do you know what expertise? In this country, there is anyone who is able to build, for example, stadium. You will go to the Chinese, they will come and build stadium. That's expertise. That's not knowledge. Don't mix them up. Second thing, it is like effort. You don't have the ability to build your own road, so you call friends to come and to build those roads. That's what is expertise, guys. That's it, and not knowledge. It is different. And the second thing is, we talk about they don't have the expertise. You know, I was talking with a friend of mine yesterday. He was on his way down here. He was there to correct the mistake that the Western did in the colonization. It's a time of colonization. So man, when we talk about expertise, we are full of knowledge, we are full of expertise. We don't need for expertise. And another one is the global bank is talking about $1 billion amount. They say Africa is not able to create and exploit its own natural resources. They want to come here and teach us how to exploit and how to use it. Is it relevant, guys? Is it normal to say that we cannot? When you were a kid, and perhaps you said that you are not able to understand English. Now you are here because you believe in yourself. It is all about believing. It is all about courage. And it takes courage to exploit our own natural resources. All we need is good governance, good policies. That is all. Thank you.
You see, even people that never go to school, they create something. But those ones are never be helped. I have seen a little boy in G.S.A, if I'm not mistaken, create a drone. If he was in another country, they would help him. But here not. They would even maybe create a school for him to help others create more. It's part of financial. It's a financial problem. And the other thing is, if you go to America, when you're born, what they do is just like, they make the child know that he's born to lead. He's born to lead all the whole world. But here in Africa, as I said, I'm learning, and after I would like to go to Canada. Do Canadian people, I mean the young generation of Canada, do they say I want to go to Senegal? Why? Because there, they think that their conditions are better. We have to make better conditions here before and make our young generation, the young people, make them believe that it's here in Africa by helping them, financing them. If you go to the science faculty, we have our labs, but if you go there, there is even no material. Is it my mistake? Is the government mistake? Thank you very much.
So this is in the same name question. It's going to be to you guys. So basically, no, that's good for your answer. I'm going to ask you this. And we had a conversation about this last week in the great debater, in the great speakers. Are the African countries ready to handle themselves?
Okay, thank you, Honorable Jury, for the question. In my own ideas, I can say no. Just at first sight, it's not about minimizing Africa, but we are not ready. As the Wolof proverb say, the European, they got the skills that we Africans do not. It's not about them believing, but we just put on them to see on them what we can give, so as to develop ourselves. Is what I think about.
And you know, okay, like you said a while back, you know, it's very important, guys, to know. even well, they make a difference, okay? They say if you see America, they give names to the university, which means that even them, they agree. You see, it's not because we are underestimating our leaders, but we know that here, what is happening in Africa, we all know. I mean, our resources, people, they are exploiting our resources, but the problem is that who is the end users? Who is the end users? I mean, our leaders, they here. You see, they can accept, they can they can negotiate with the Western countries to teach our students, but they do not want. Do you know why? Because they are defending their own interests. They're not here for the African people. They're here for themselves. You see, it's only Africa where you find out the president who is living his country as a king. He's here forever. We can take the example of Abdullah. He was here since 2000 till 2012. 12 years in the power. Which means that guys on the power, which is very, 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 very hard. We believe in that and we have to change it. Down America, do they do that? Down Canada, down England, they don't do. But in Africa, we still doing it. President, they do not want to give the power to others, give the other people the opportunities to lead. But if they refuse for their own interests, what we are going to do as young guys? Okay.
So, thank you for this relevant question. Well, as far as I'm concerned, at the time being, we are not ready to go by ourselves. That's the reason why, or this is the answer of your first question. We are not ready. The reason why we are not among the first. So it is a problem of process. You cannot go today and walk today. It is all about process. We are not ready because we are facing some problems that we have to overcome. I'm not here to, defend the government or something like that. The government is misgoverning. We are misleading, right? The government is misleading this country. We are facing a lot of problems. And now, the question to if we are ready or not, we are far from being ready. Maybe in 2050 or 2100, we will be able to be ready. But at the time being, we face a lot of problems that we have to overcome before, accepting to be ready. Thank you.
Reach that level of independence to be able to exploit our own Africa, exploit its own resources.
Okay, thank you, dear member of the jury. So your question is very important. So we have to know that, we have to go and learn, guys. Because, if you don't know nothing, if you are in your house, how we say in Wolof, I quote, give it to you, more like what for talk, more like what for talk. You see, even the machine that we are using, while producing, that machine is not our expertise. It's the expertise of the firm. Why not to go and learn? Learn how they use those, how they use in order to make those machines, in order to produce. It's what we have to go and learn. But it's our plan now, we don't do it. Our government, they need fools to help us to learn. Our government, they do not help us, to give up the opportunities to go abroad and learn and develop our countries. It's up to us as young people, to develop our countries. But if we do not get the opportunities, the problem is that it's not about we not proud or we proud. It's about experience. That's the only experience that makes difference. If you get enough experience, you can do whatever you want. But if you do not get it, what are you going to do? We all the time talking, but even Western, they used to say, African people, they have much. But action is better than talk. We have to do, realize it's better than being here, talking all the time. Talking will never pay, only actions pay, quicker, better.
So, Mr.
about the 2050. What we should know is all is about process. We cannot go today and walk today. It is all about process. The Western country, if we're not here, 100 years ago, everything is about process. We are young countries. In terms of age, we say that we have around 60 years old. We are young countries. So everything at that time is about process, right? Nothing is done with the snap of finger, right? And for the second question about solution, as my brother said, we should emphasize on the education. Education, as our brothers always say, is the key that we can use, is a weapon to change the world. I don't really. But we can focus on education, invest on education, so as to enable our brothers to have enough skills in order to produce great. And after education, we have to support them in terms of the means, because there is any creation without means. Means is something, or are something that is very important in order to help people to overcome these problems that we are facing now in Africa.
Yeah, just like saying that going for foreign experiences, I would say it's so far. You were not born as a fresh wing science, I can say. No. You're learning, you're a student and you will learn science. So I can say everything is about skills. Everything is about learning. And we are learning about it, so I have to go abroad. And we accept that to develop it. We need these skills so as to develop it. And as they say, everything is about process. And we should invest in all in education so as to help our students so as to get the level there. Thank you.
It's about looking for expertise. So whenever you say, now we are radical, we will never be able to go ahead. So I told you about 2050. If you want to go and look for knowledge, you'll ever be here. Always sometimes one of my teachers used to say, we always say that Africa, is late, but Africa is not on the, starting line.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now? I just want to follow with second question, which is, it feels also like, using foreign expertise. It's also another way to exploit our communities here. As you can see, there's a lot of, untold stories about how, Westerners exploit our communities in Africa. What do you have to say about this? Do you think, it's okay, even though there are some negative impacts on, on the way this is going, do you think it's okay, to still continue relying on foreign expertise?
Okay, I think it's about reliance. It's about, what we call in our told that we are in the 21st century, the mondialization, the globalizations are problem with this. Okay, I'm sorry. So we are living what we call interdependence. Countries, they need one another. I show you the South form of my idea. You see, I show the example. We really need that experience. Even though we are going to be explored, we are going to be used. But also, this is 50-50. It's about business, okay? They are going to take. And the problem is that Africa give all the time. You give. It's high time for us. Even though they take, we have to give. We have to take also. They take, we take. And by the way, we won't lose anything. Imagine if we got enough skills, we are going to be able to use our resources without them. If we know how to use oil, black oil, if we know how to use our land, if we know how to exploit our resources, are we going to be the Western? The game will be over forever.
Well, Your Honor, we should know first of all that we are not here to do the apology of the foreign expertise or the foreign expertise. What we should know at the time being is we are on a step that we need them. If you need them today, maybe tomorrow you will no longer need them. So that's the reason why we should welcome them in order to have a win-win cooperation. Don't we always transfer of technology? If they are not here, we won't have what we call the transfer of technology. Maybe in 5 years, my brother want to be able to do something. We should rely on transfer of technology in order to be on our way to be the best continent ever.
Okay, so I don't have any question. I just want to congratulate you on your brilliant presentation. Yes, the debate was great, but the only mishap is, this is my opinion, I may be wrong, right? But I think that, or I strongly believe that you spend too much time on what I can call a flashy thing, or you did it because you were committed and dedicated just to win. But as a brother, this is, if you allow me that piece of advice, next time mind about it and avoid it and go straight to your points, yes, and your argument. Thank you so much.